Okay, I think we're live now. Hey, everybody. How are you all doing? Christy says she's excited and she can't wait to get some reading in. Hi, Jeff. Then Phaser Red 84 says, what are you guys reading? So I'll let y'all introduce yourselves in your channel, and then after that, we can go around and talk about what we're going to be reading.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Charmaine, or do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. Hello, I'm Vish from Books of V, and I guess mainly read fantasy and thrillers and romance, but fantasy is kicking my butt with the slump. So I'm only reading fantasy romance or YA fantasy instead. And yeah, that's pretty much me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Charmaine. I don't have a booktube, but you can find me on Instagram, Traveling Through Books. I think my top three genres are historical fiction, fantasy, and sci-fi. And we're not doing currently reading yet, are we? But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. So I'm Alicia. I hope you know who I am. We are on my channel. I read a couple of, I try to read all genres in reality, but some stand out to me more than others. I recently got into fantasy, but I really like to read science fiction, literary fiction, and nonfiction, specifically memoirs. That's my jam. And today, I'll be reading either The Stand. I need to get through this one. It's pretty thick.
That's a big book.
Mm-hmm. And I have the extended edition, so there's an extra 400 pages in my edition. Oh boy. So I might read this, or I might finish The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I did read it. Start it, but I kind of dropped it off because other reading got in the way. So I'll pick up either one of these two. What about y'all?
So I finished my book last night before the live show for Shelf Space. So today I'm starting brand new, and I'm going to start with my reread of Court Thorns and Roses. I'm very, very excited.
Nice.
I just started this. I'm not that far into it, but Deathless Divide. It's the second book. It's the sequel to Dread Nation.
I
don't think I've heard of Drag Nation.
I've seen a few pictures of Dread Nation, and I think it's like is it a dystopian kind of fantasy?
Yeah, it's kind of like a, I guess it's like shiny. There you go. It's kind of like historical fiction with like zombies in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Post-Civil War with zombies.
Is this the one that you were telling me about that you loved and you just like flew right through it?
Yeah, I read in like a day and a half.
Nice. I'm just going to show some comments really quickly. So it looks like Jeff is working on House in the Cerulean Sea. I haven't read it, but I just heard that book is like giving someone a hug.
It is. It really is so beautiful. And I know he just started it too. And he is on like page 200 or something. So good on you, Jeff. Very good.
Nice. I'm reading The Beautiful and the Color of Magic. I don't think I've heard either. Is that one book or two books?
I think The Color of Magic is Discworld.
Oh.
Yeah, and The Beautiful is by Renee Ardier. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I haven't read any of them.
I tried reading The Beautiful, but I wasn't really into the writing style, so I gave it to my mom, who actually really liked it.
There you go. There's a reader for every book and a book for every reader.
For sure.
True.
Looks like Christy's reading the introduction to 100 Years of Solitude. I have yet to read 100 Years of Solitude. My partner Ben read Love in the Time of Cholera, and he didn't like it. So I definitely don't want to start with that one, but it intimidates me. Hey.
Hello.
Charmaine, hi. Hi, Kayla. Thanks for coming.
So many friends.
I'm just here to say hello, wish everyone fun and a good starting to hosting sprints. I can't read today. Have a good night. I had audiobook The Stand. So I put a hold on The Stand for the audiobook, and the wait time is like 6 weeks.
Wow.
So I'm just going to keep going. I'm actually genuinely enjoying it. It's just a very thick book. So it'll take me a while to get through.
Yay.
Ooh, I hope you like it.
That's cool.
Ooh. I haven't read Warbreaker yet, but I know, isn't it going to be a series now?
Yeah, but
I think
long
so.
way.
Yeah. It's going to be a long time before
Yeah.
he does it.
I've read
Very
200
good.
so far. Nice.
Very good.
Crazy, Jeff.
Oh, I'm not a Gryffindor, actually. I'm a Hufflepuff. This is to fake, just to pretend. It's just pretend.
Imposter.
Exactly.
I actually don't know Harry Potter, but I took a quiz and I was a Hufflepuff. So
Woohoo.
Okay. I was just about to ask if that was a quiz, or is it more something that you decide what house you're in? I haven't taken the test, but if I could be, I think I would be a Gryffindor. Although I'm not sure. I'll have to take the test.
I think you might be a Ravenclaw, like half Ravenclaw, half Gryffindor, I think. Because I'm half Hufflepuff, half Ravenclaw.
Okay. I'll take the test while we're sprinting, and I'll let y'all know.
the people want answers.
They demand answers. A lot of commentary on South American history and politics. So does it make commentary and also let you know about it, or is it more like you have to know about it in the first place?
Also, was there a movie for 100 Years of Solitude, or am I dreaming?
I don't know, but I feel like there might be. There's so many movie adaptations now for books that I feel like that's one where might have one.
Let's see.
Hi, Ben. Hey. Thanks for coming. Looks like Christy is a Hufflepuff, but they
Yay.
have a Gryffindor mug. Nice.
Yeah. All the Enneagram 9s seem to be Hufflepuffs.
I'm a 9 too.
See?
Yay.
Nice.
The correlation.
The quiz. I disagree. It says that I'm a 1. Like my highest was a 1. I don't understand the whole there was a word that Mare used. I forgot now. But I was primarily a 1, and I disagree with that. I don't think I'm a 1. I just don't feel like one.
That's fair enough.
Slytherin took the test, got it 5 times, and Hufflepuff 3 times, and Gryffindor once.
Interesting.
Nice. Self-proclaimed Slytherin. I like it. I'm here for it. And you have to know about politics and history in order to understand it, but I still enjoyed the book. Okay, so how about, do you have a preference for how long you want the sprints to be? 20, 30 minutes? What are y'all feeling?
I'm feeling 30 today.
30?
That's very early.
Okay.
It works.
Alrighty, so why don't we start the sprints and we can end at 12. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Alrighty.
so nervous to start this. It's gonna be my first reread, so hopefully it holds up.
I hate to interrupt y'all while you're reading, but it is time. So, during reading sprints, I actually don't like to say how many pages I read, just because I know that some people out there are slow readers or really fast readers, and we like to compare ourselves. That's just what we do. So, I'm not going to say how many pages I read. Instead, I was hoping if you want to, please totally do. That is totally up to you. But maybe we can go around and talk about one thing that we're liking so far in the books that we're reading.
Yeah, I'm fine not saying my page number, obviously. And I don't know if you can see, but I really have some jams on my coffee already. So I'm enjoying it. And I don't know if you've read A Court of Thorns and Roses, but Vera's sisters are not very nice people.
I haven't read it. It's one that I really need to get to. There's so many books and so little time.
It's not perfect, but it's an enjoyable read. I'll say that.
I heard it gets better though. I
yes.
know some people say that it's like a good book, but then the rest of the series is where it's at.
Yes. So the first book is I feel like it's very YA, but then obviously the second book and the third book is very more adult, and the second book is where it's my favorite book of all time, just because it has like some personal meaning to me, and it means a lot to me because of that. And it's just like second book syndrome. If you know from like YA fantasy how like it's very character driven instead of plot driven,
Yeah.
and that's where you kind of like fall in love with the characters. So the second book is great, and the third book is more like plot focused as well, which is still good because obviously you want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. How about you, Charmaine?
Things like picked up really quickly. Lotta got through. Well, actually, we're still in the middle of like a really big action scene. So things are definitely fast paced. I can see myself binging this one too, unless it slows down. But it's definitely very fast paced.
That's good to hear. I love a good plot-driven book from time to time, just like one that's so addictive you can't stop reading.
Mm-hmm. I love plot-driven books.
I'm more of a character-driven book lover, but I can appreciate both depending on what mood I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet so far. I feel like I needed a slower paced book. This is kind of like a slice of life, but in outer space type of book. And I feel like I needed that because I've been reading pretty heavy books, like emotionally heavy books, and I needed a break from that. So it's kind of nice to read something that's a little bit more lighthearted and more like slice of life kind of deal. But yeah, it's not very plot driven, so it is moving a little bit slow, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I finished that last week. It was nice. It was nice. I had just finished another book, Me Before You, which was very emotional. So it was nice just to go into that one where you just enjoy the conversations that everyone's having and not have to think.
Yeah. I'm going to pop up some of the comments. I did end up taking the quiz, and I'm a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Yay! We're all Hufflepuff.
So I think we left off here. Jeff is a Slytherin and a 3. Christy says she's never noticed a correlation between 9s and Hufflepuffs. Mayor popped in to say hi. I don't know if you're still on here, Mayor, but hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Joanna. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
What are you reading, Lyra?
Well, I know what she's reading, I think.
Is it something that has to do with City of...
Yeah, I think it's The Beautiful.
I think it's the last book.
Okay. I'm liking the character Odette.
Yeah, that one's beautiful.
That's why I don't say page numbers when I do or I try not to say page numbers when I do reading sprints, because I know some people feel bad, and I don't want to make anybody feel bad, you know? And I'm a super slow reader too, so. Still at the beginning of Warbreaker, but really enjoying the world building so far. I do love the world building that Sanderson writes.
No.
Well, hopefully it gets better. I'm both actually the weird one. Are you talking about character and plot driven?
I think so. Woohoo!
Whoop, whoop. I cried at the end of Me Before You.
It was
Very sad. I've only seen the movie. I haven't seen the book. I mean, seen the book, read the book.
I haven't seen the movie or read the book, but it's something that I want to read. City of Heavenly Fire. So I actually didn't continue to the second part of the Mortal Instruments. I only read the first part. I don't know if the second part follows Claire and Jace.
Yeah, they continue on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of the Mortal Instruments. I thought I didn't like urban fantasy because of the Mortal Instruments, but I love the Infernal Devices.
Yeah, the Infernal Device is her best book so far. At least I think so. Yeah, that's a good scene.
Yes, character and plot. I have a question for you both. What is the weirdest thing that you have ever used as a bookmark?
As you say that, I was literally putting a bookmark in my book. I guess, I don't know, what was the weirdest thing? Like an Apple TV remote?
Okay. That's pretty random.
Yeah, I mean, normally if I don't have a bookmark, I just like put it down like this or like dog ear it. So I'm not like fussed or anything. But yeah, sometimes Apple TV remote or like a pen. Oh, sometimes like at the edge of my phone, so like this, just so I can know where I stopped. But that's pretty much it.
I've done that and then had the phone fall out, and I'm like, no, because I don't know where I ended.
Sorry, another thing as well is I have my AirPods, so I used to put my Stitch ears in here, so it sticks in there.
That works.
It's a cute case.
Mm-hmm.
Stitch.
Cute. I've used a piece of like twine string, or like a wrapper to a straw. I've done that.
Hey, you gotta use what's available.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, right?
Yeah. I read on the floor a lot, and I have 2 dogs and we have 3 cats here. So there's always a lot of hair on the floor, no matter how often we vacuum. So whenever I don't have anything available, I just kind of like accumulate a bunch of hair and stick it in between the pages. It's kind of gross, but it works.
It works.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let's see. Infernal Devices is my favorite. Me too. I have yet to read Chain of Gold. I do own it, but I haven't gotten to it.
I think it's pretty good as well in terms of like writing. There's a lot of characters in Chain of Gold compared to her other books, so it's like a little bit confusing when you first read it because you're like, oh no, everyone's kind of related to everyone. How am I going to keep track? But after a while, you like, you know. And I'm definitely going to reread it before the second book comes out in March. Chain of Iron.
Is that in March?
Yeah, it's coming out in March.
I remember when I was first reading The Mortal Instruments, I legit had to sit down and I started writing the family trees out because I was like, I can't keep track of who's related to who.
I know in Clockwork Princess it has a family tree at the back, unless it's just my copy, but it has a family tree.
It does. I remember that. I did it while I was reading The Mortal Instruments. So I hadn't gotten those yet.
So I was laughing at Jeff's comment.
I used oh no. I'm glad you got it back though. Fun. Well, it's not a fun fact because it wasn't any fun at all. But a couple of years ago, I got my backpack stolen, and tell me why I carry my social security card around, but it was in there, and so when it got stolen, I had to call and like freeze my credit, and now it's a whole mess. Basically, when I called the social security office, they told me to burn the card and just remember the number because you don't need it. You just need the number. So that was tragic.
That's so bad.
My husband's hand.
A
Like,
banana.
yeah. I used a teaspoon once. You use what you gotta use.
Yeah, exactly.
I used a wrapper to a straw to and a remote as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's someone out there that has used something weirder than me. I've used mail or rip envelopes to use as a bookmark. Me too. I actually have that right now. This is from, I don't know, it's some piece of random paper that I just stuck in between my book.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good to know.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
at least you know it's safe.
Yeah.
Okay. So shall we go for another 30 minutes?
Down.
Okay. So we'll go to 55.
Yeah.
See y'all soon.
Hi.
Sorry to interrupt again. I always feel bad interrupting people when they're reading.
That's all right. That's what you have to do.
Usually when you stop reading, can you stop like right in the middle of a sentence, or do you have to wait till the end of the paragraph or till the end of a chapter?
Yeah, I'm that psychopath that can just stop wherever I am. I can, like, if I'm reading a middle of a sentence, I'll be like, okay, I need to stop this.
I'm kind of the same. I can stop just about anywhere, but I at least have to finish the sentence, preferably the paragraph, but I can totally stop anywhere. What about you, Charmaine?
Yeah, I can stop anywhere. Ideally it'd be at the end of a chapter, or page break, but yeah, at least the paragraph.
Feel the same way. So how's your reading going?
Yeah, good. I'm on chapter 5, so it's like not far in, but things are starting to happen.
The plot thickens.
Yes. Even though I know what happens, but yes, the plot thickens.
So what is like the major plot synopsis? Because I actually have no idea what it's about.
Okay, so we have Farah, and she has 2 sisters and her father. They used to be rich, and her dad owes money to some people, and then those people came to collect, and they basically kind of injure their father to the point where he's disabled, so they become really, really poor, and Farah has to provide for her family food-wise, so she goes out hunting, and while hunting one day she accidentally kills a wolf, and she thinks it's a fairy wolf, because if you kill a fairy wolf, it's like, I guess it's a good thing in the human world. So she killed a fairy wolf, and then a couple of days later, another fairy comes in and says, hey, you murdered my friend. Now you either have to die or come with me to live in the fairylands. So that's essentially what happens. So she goes with him, because the first book is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So obviously, like, the beast is the fairy, and then he comes and takes her with him to the fairylands.
That's so interesting. I didn't know it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I literally knew nothing about it.
It's a very loose Beauty and the Beast retelling. So the part that I just mentioned where she goes with him, that's where the similarity stops, basically.
Okay. It looks like Kayla says that she also stopped at chapter 5. Nice, nice. How is your reading going, Charmaine?
It's going really well. There's some reuniting of old characters, and I'm not sure who to trust and who not to trust. We'll find out.
Looks like the plot is also thickening in your book.
Yes. I don't think it was ever thin.
Nice. My book is just going along. I haven't gotten to like any like really big plot device or anything like that. It's still just kind of going along, but there's a lot of thought pondering things she brings up. So it's like very thought provoking, and I'm enjoying that part of it. Like there's this scene where there's these 2 characters are having a conversation, but they're both not humans, and they're complaining about human characteristics. And I don't know, I just thought it was a really cool scene. Yeah.
Are you reading The Stand? Did you say, like, The Stand?
I actually picked up The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. It's a character-driven space opera. Yeah. But I might switch gears during our next sprint, because I really, really want to finish The Stand. It's just so thick. It's
so huge.
So many.
What's The Stand about?
Yeah.
It's about So it's an apocalyptic novel where there's a disease that, and it's like a man-made disease where they had it, they were like testing it out, and escapes and basically kills off like 99% of the planet. But then the worst part about it is like the people that survive are kind of at odds, and like wars are breaking out and people are attacking each other, and it's intense. And I really a show just came out about it, and I really want to watch the show, but I don't want to start it until I finish the book in case there's any spoilers.
Is it more like thriller, less horror, or is there still horror element? It's like
It's a mix of both, actually. What I really like though is like it's set in, shoot, I forgot, the 60s or 80s, so it's kind of nice seeing back then how it's like for a pandemic to kind of spread. And it's, even though there are horror elements, it's not like scary, it's just more like sad stuff that happens. Like we have one character who's in jail and all of the guards go missing, and we don't know if he's going to survive or die from starvation because everybody kind of died around him. So things like that.
That's really interesting. I didn't expect the stand to be that long, though. I thought it was just like a normal size novel.
I know well, my edition is 1,400 pages. I know. I know. We'll see how it goes. Someone asked, Charmaine, did you read Angry Planet with Alan's Discord?
I did. I read it. I listened to the audiobook. I think it was a Monday, I think I had, or Tuesday. I had like a really busy day at work doing like tedious, like mindless stuff, but like a large volume. So I just finished off the audiobook while I was working.
How long was it?
I think the audiobook was like 14 hours, but I was at I think 1.75 speed. So
okay. Kayla says she has to go for the night. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
And Sarah just joined. Hi, Sarah. What are you going to be reading? By the way, I love all of your decor, Charmaine.
Oh, thank you.
Everything you always post is so like, I don't know, aesthetically pleasing to me.
Most of the decor on my Instagram I do in the living room, and that's all my roommate. She's always redecorating.
Nice. Cool. So do you all want to go for another 30 minutes? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, while we're doing that, I'll be right back as well. Like, keep going.
All right.
Okay. Sounds good. So I'll make the time. Let's just go till 6:35. Is that okay? Cool, cool. Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
I forgot how to stop sharing my other screen. Maybe I'll just close it. Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry if it's really loud, but my gardener decided to ruin my day today. And it's beautiful loud.
Same here. My roommate plays video games at night and he gets really excited. So if you just hear screaming, it's him.
That's fair. Because we live in an apartment building, and for some reason he comes in like either every day or every second day. And it's so weird that he comes in almost every day. So he's here today. And he passes by my window because you can see like my window's just in front of me. And he
Mhm.
passes by my window with this loud machinery. So loud.
Do you ever make eye contact?
No, which is great. Because especially because I film in this room, so you can see outside. So good thing no one makes eye contact. It's not really
Nice.
awkward.
Sarah said that she's reading Passing by Nella Larson. Is that a thriller? Oh, she just said it's a story of two women who crossed the color line in 1920s New York, passing as white, and it invokes a lot of discussion surrounding race. Sounds like a good book. Are you enjoying it so far? Good morning, Vish. Good evening.
Morning. Or not morning.
Vish is a trooper. She slept 3 hours to be here.
Yeah, you were up late. I saw you on
I
Discord.
mean, yeah,
I'm like,
anything
what
for
is
you
she going
guys,
to sleep?
obviously. Too well. He's doing it too well. Can you hear him?
A little bit. Like from here and there.
Yeah, he's coming closer. I can hear him.
My neighbor
Gregory,
likes
what are you reading? Oh, I said, Gregory, what are you reading?
let us know, Greg. I have another question for y'all. In the meantime, what is the best book that you've read so far in 2021?
Whew. Let me pull up Goodreads.
Check my bullet journal.
I always
I don't know.
Excluding rereads, probably Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. Excluding rereads, because I reread The Honeymooners and Poison Study. So Home Before Dark so far is the best.
I still need to read something by Riley Sager. I put Home Before Dark and the last
Door?
time. I'm sorry?
Lock Every Door.
That
by
one,
Riley
yeah.
Sager.
I put them on hold, so whichever I get first, I'll end up listening to, but I have yet to read anything by them.
He's really good. I read Lock Every Door in I think 2019, and that was really good. I think I gave it around 4 stars, but I think Home Before Dark is better than Lock Every Door in terms of like the paranormal aspect of it.
Okay. I don't want to start with his best. I'll probably start with Lock Every Door.
I think a lot of people say that if you start from his first work and work your way up, you wouldn't be disappointed. So if you, let's say if you did read Home Before Dark and then work your way to his backlist, you would be disappointed because obviously his writing improves.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know then.
I think the best book I've read so far is either a tie between Kindred and Dread Nation.
Haven't read either of those, but
Me neither.
they're both on my TBR now.
Yay.
Sarah said it's good and very short. Lyra says Clockwork Princess is her favorite so far. Shipped by Angie Hockman. I haven't heard of Shipped either.
That's amazing. Oh yeah, I buddy read it with Victoria. She is such a sweet person. We had a lot of fun buddy reading it as well.
When y'all buddy read with other people, how often do you check in?
So if we're doing either page breakdown or chapter breakdowns, I'll be reading it per day. So probably like every day, probably. Unless we like skip a day, then like every other day.
I'm like the worst buddy reader because I forget to check in, or I just sit down and get really engaged and finish it in like a couple of hours, depending on the book. Or I either don't get into it and then I put it down and leave it till like the last day of the end of the month. It's pretty bad.
You're almost done, Jeff? You're insane.
Wow.
He started that today.
Yeah, that's fast.
Wow. I told you it'll be a quick read. I'm glad he's almost finishing it. Hopefully he is liking it. It sounds like he is.
They're loving Washington by A Life by Ron Chernow and the brothers Karamazov by Fjord Do.
Yeah. Dostoevsky.
Difficult names.
Yeah.
Because I know Christy's doing
I'm sorry, y'all have to hear me. Who?
Christy is doing a read along for the brothers Karamazov. And I think they're doing like a live show in different dates for February. I'm not too sure.
Okay. Looks like Larry's reading The Voice of War in February. Malcolm X and Skyward. I was supposed to read Skyward this month and I completely failed. It's the last day and I haven't even started it.
Me
I'm sorry.
too, Alicia. Me too. Sorry, Greg.
I overcommitted. So sorry.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you to read it, Lyra.
I mean, who doesn't love zombie books? Like, zombies are scary and also really like to read.
Oh no. What didn't you like about it? That's the first time I've heard anyone say they didn't love.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, if they say they don't like it, it's because it's like too, like, I guess, too sweet. I don't know. Like, it's too much for them to handle. I don't know. Maybe Sarah has a different opinion.
People who don't like emotions.
People who don't like too much emotion.
I realized this year, I was going over my stats for 2020, and I realized that I don't read happy books. And maybe that's why I'm trying to read romance, because they tend to be happier. But for some reason, I just don't gravitate towards happy books. And that's the only reason I haven't picked up Cerulean Sea, because I'm afraid I won't like it. I don't know.
I'm like that way with TV and movies. Like, my roommate loves like the super make you cry, heartfelt movies, and I'm like, I want things to blow up.
Me too.
Yeah, I tend to stay away from sad movies. I don't want sad.
I have a cold heart, I feel like. Yeah, sorry, Greg.
We're failures. That's good.
Ooh, here we go. Hot take. It was boring, long, and too middle grady. That is a hot take.
Because it's a adult fantasy, but it's very middle grade, which I definitely obviously understand. And it just follows the kids and is it Linus? Yeah, his journey with and his bond with the kids. I can definitely see that being boring and long if no one's really invested in the characters or doesn't really care about it. I can see that happening.
Yeah, if you're not that kind of reader, it's probably not fun.
I love soul killing books. Yes, me too. Where should I start with Russian lit? Let me know. The only Russian lit that I've read, I think, is Dr. Zhivago, and I really loved it when I read it back then. It's due for a reread, though, because I haven't read it in like 4 or 5 years, but I really enjoyed it. I can see the middle grade comparison, which is fair.
Mhm.
Because I actually thought it was a middle grade before I realized it was an adult fantasy.
Well, I guess when you have like younger characters in the book, you have to write them young, so they're not going to
Yeah.
act like adults.
Is it from the perspective of the kids or?
No, it's the
think
perspective
so.
of Linus, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's first person or third person, but we really just follow Linus.
Mhm. That's good to know before going in whenever I decide to pick it up. I don't think it'll be anytime soon, but from time to time I am in the mood for a happy book, just not now. Oh,
You just
right.
sadness.
Yeah,
I don't want to be happy.
honestly, the last book that I finished was Monday's Not Coming, and that book broke me. I couldn't read for like 2 full days after that, and as soon as I put the book down, I just started sobbing for like an hour. It was such a I can't even, it wasn't a heartfelt book because it talks about like really important issues. But it broke me. It just broke my heart. It broke my soul. And I think it's the best book that I've read so far this year.
That's awesome. I actually have it. I just haven't read it yet.
Read it.
What
And tell
book
me,
was that?
Monday's Not Coming?
It's not coming. I'll show you the cover. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to read that. I want to read from her. Tiffany D. Jackson. I hear her books are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm picking up Grown After. I already put it on hold because I want to read more by her. Her writing style just really vibed with me, and the way that she tells stories is just fantastic. I'm going to Buddy read A Little Life with John Fairly Suit. Do I want to put myself through that?
I mean, if you don't want to be happy, then
I will join. Just let me know the details because I do have it. It's on my physical TBR. So I'd rather read it with someone and cry together.
Emotional support.
Third person admitted. Okay. Okay.
it's a very interesting book. There's not really much of a magic system. It's just like a very middle grade kind of thing where it's like these kids have powers and that's it.
So is it more like magical realism then?
No, because like the magic does exist. Because I know magical realism like alludes to there being magic, but you in this like you actually have magic in there. But each kid has a different power and like different abilities. So it's like that. So there's nothing much to it except that.
Okay. Crime and Punishment. I actually also own that book. It's on my physical TBR and it scares me. It's one of the books that I've always wanted to read, but I'm always too afraid to pick up because of the length. But maybe this will be the year. That's intense.
Yeah,
I've actually never done a 24-hour readathon. I don't know if I have the brain capacity for that or the attention span, but I mean, I could try and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm 30 now. I can't do 24 hours anymore. My body just shuts down.
I want to be like Vish and sleep for 3 hours and be okay, but I wouldn't be okay if I only slept 3 hours.
I'm healthy, to be honest. I just do it off pure energy.
All right, so shall we go for another 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 7:20, or do you guys want to go to 7:30?
I really don't mind. It's all good for me.
Dealer's choice.
Why don't we go till 7:30 and that way this can be the last sprint? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Cool beans. So I'll just set it up. Hello.
Hello.
How was your reading?
It's good. The person who I have been getting bad feelings about,
Mhm.
those feelings are increasing. But I don't know why.
I didn't end up reading anything just because I was so distracted. Because I think, Alicia, I told you what was happening with me.
Yeah.
So it's just escalated further. So I'm a bit stressed. That's all.
Uh-oh. Is everything okay?
My boss called me. That's why I was like MIA for a little bit. And she said that she went through the footage of the day I was working and I came in contact with the guy. So I'm a bit stressed.
Oh no.
Yeah, because he tested positive. I think it was Saturday midnight. Because I didn't tell you, Charmaine, but basically there was one guy who tested positive, and we went to immediate lockdown starting yesterday. And they listed places of where he's been for the whole week last week, and he came to my workplace on Saturday when I was working, and basically he gave me the product. I looked at it and I showed him something from the back, and then I gave it back to him, and then he paid through card, and then there's also like a plastic barrier between us, so I don't know how that's gonna go with me and whether I will test positive or not, but I'm just stressed. That's all.
Oh no.
Do you know
Yeah.
what you're being tested?
He did test positive, but I don't know if it's that UK strain that he has. They're still doing that genome sequencing just to figure it out if he does have it.
Yeah.
But I have to go get tested today. So yeah,
That's so stressful. I'm so sorry that's happening.
I know it's like it is what it is. I kind of like out of all places, he came to where I work. But I'm totally fine. I'm not like sick or anything. Like I don't feel that at all.
Mhm.
But obviously it's only like the second day, so we'll see what happens.
Keep us updated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely. For sure.
Ben says, I hope you're okay.
I'm
And
okay. I'm just a bit stressed.
well, thank you so much to both of y'all for
Of
joining
course.
today's reading sprints, and it means a lot to me that y'all were here. I'll go ahead and link both of your socials down below. Traveling Through Books is Charmaine's Instagram, and then Vish actually runs she has her YouTube channel, but she has Buddy Reads. And for February, her channel will be reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So if anybody out there wants to join, just saying, throwing it out there. Christy also says, so sorry, Vish.
Thanks, Chrissy. I'm sure I'll be fine. Yeah. Thank you. I'm sure I'll be fine. We'll see what happens.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to end the live here. Thank you all so much for joining, and
Thanks for having us.
yeah,
Thanks
of
for
course.
inviting me.
Let me end it now.